Yo, what's up, guys? So I'm browsing the forums, and I always see the craziest shit written on the forums, and so it's giving me this idea to start a new series, and this is going to be episode 1, and we're going to call it What the Devs Really Mean. I think that's probably what we should call it. What are the devs really saying? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, every time I see some weird shit written on the forums by the devs, or some things that just need to be translated, because honestly, the devs, and I think, the two devs that we most know, they are so sarcastic as fuck, and they don't really have a problem with just telling the players straight up how they feel. And that's cool. I don't care. I mean, they couldn't hurt my feelings, but sometimes when I'm on these forums, I see them say shit, and I feel like I know what they really want to say, but they got to do it kind of politely on the forums. So I'm just gonna try and help translate a lot of what they say. The title of this post on the forums is Monthly DLC Needs Better Longevity or More Instances. And this guy is basically saying that like a 9-minute solo, a 12-minute duo, a 30-minute raid, and a 20-minute alert every month is not enough to keep the players interested. And to be honest, I haven't played enough since I've been back to see what kind of shit they're putting out. But I feel like he's probably pretty accurate in what he's saying. And that is not enough for, a month long. Like a player who plays more than 2 hours a day, that's not enough content for somebody who's where they should be in the game. They've got the top tier shit already. They're waiting for the new monthly content, and when the monthly content drops, they've already got replay badges on deck. And they're getting ready to get all the hottest shit. They can get all their shit done and get the hottest gear in one day if they really wanted to. So I see what he's saying, and that's kind of their own fault for doing that. If you're gonna come out with an option for players to be able to rerun shit every day with replay badges, then you probably should be putting out more content so that those players are not just sitting around bored out of their fucking mind going on the forum saying there's not enough content. So I feel like they kind of did that to themselves. But I scroll down and I'm looking at what like Mepps is saying, and Mepps is always sarcastic as fuck with the players. He says it's very unlikely we would be able to start creating 50% more content. Let's see here. And then he also says, he says, when you say you quickly hit this milestone, so he's responding to players. He says, when you say you quickly hit this milestone of getting gear, are you factoring in using replays or not using replays? And it's stupid that he would even ask that, because even if somebody's using gear, or replays, you put that in the game for them to use. So how can you ask a player if they're using replays or not, and make that the reason why they're bored? That makes no sense, because that's essentially what he's saying. Like, Mepps is sarcastic as fuck, and he's basically telling this player, like, how about you don't use replays, and the shit will take longer for you to get. And that doesn't make sense, because if you're going to give players replays, why would you ask them why the fuck they're using replays? I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And then he says, I would expect the players who have obtained all of the rewards from episodes 16 and 17 to no longer play it as much, where players who have not would continue to. And then he says, how else would you see the system working? And that's obviously some more sarcasm from Mepps. So he's basically saying, are you fucking retarded? That's how the game is supposed to work. Once we put out new shit and you get all the new shit then you just sit around and wait for us to give you more new shit, and then you go get that stuff. He's like, there's no reason for you to go back and play previous episodes or play previous content if you have all the shit. He's like, how else do you think the game works? What, are you fucking retarded? That's what he's saying. And my response to that is, that doesn't really make sense to me either, because wouldn't you want to make content that even like players that have top tier gear would want to go back to old content and play it, either because it's just fucking fun, or like there's some kind of rare item in there that they haven't gotten. I remember playing like EverQuest and shit on the PS2, and there were certain items that dropped off, off certain mobs that were much lower level than I needed to be. But you went and you got those items, or you spent the time getting those items, either because of the way they looked or some of their stats, even at a lower level, because they were so rare, were better than like average shit at the top tier level. So it, when he says that kind of, I don't know, it kind of pisses me off a little bit, because they're essentially saying, or what I'm getting from this is that they're just throwing shit out there for people to buy. They could really give a fuck if you want to play it again. They're like, once it's out there, and you can beat it and get all the hot shit, and we don't want to hear shit about it. We just want to keep putting out shit. We don't want you to be complaining about why aren't we going back and playing that? Like, who gives a fuck? Just play it, beat it, and wait for our new shit. That's what I'm hearing from him right now. So this post, really interesting. I mean, I haven't even gone through the whole goddamn thing. That was just the first page. I haven't read other players' responses and shit like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, even when I was playing back in the day, when content was coming out every few months, or whenever the fuck they could figure out how to put it out, and they weren't giving us a lot of shit, we would get that shit done in like a week or two, and then we'd be sitting around for like 2.5 months, 3 months, doing nothing. And when they dropped some new shit, we beat it again, and it was just a pattern, and that was it. So I hear what this guy's saying, and I hope this video isn't too long. Just wanted to speak on that post. But like my video, please subscribe, leave your comments below. I appreciate it.